It's another day. I am Erelu Tuwashe. Welcome to my program. And that program is called Agbakunitonile Odua. As usual, let me remind us that this platform is to facilitate understanding. It is to enable communities in particular to be able to have cohesion. And that means avoiding conflict. And most of us would know very well, as it is going on in Nigeria right now, lots of misunderstandings. Now, today is going to be an interesting session as we all are here to learn. I welcome those of you who are out there in the diaspora, as they call it, all over the world. I welcome you. The organization that I have here, I'm sure most of us may not have come across them. So I am excited that they will be able to tell us a lot more than I have found out about them. It's a team of people, and the focus is on young people, in particular hardships, and what we all don't like to hear about, poverty. So it's still on the theme of collaboration to end poverty amongst young people in Nigeria. I hope that the team from Nigeria are in the Zoom area. I certainly have seen a number of them. Let me take you through the house rules. If you've just joined my program for the first time, I'm afraid it's like coming to a court. Yes, like a court. My guests will provide adequate evidence in support of the topic for today. Within the studio, those who are also guests would have opportunities to comment on evidence given. So we are all here to receive evidence. And what is the evidence? Evidence to support hardships amongst youth, especially because of COVID-19. Yes, the pandemic. Is it just youth that are experiencing hardship? No, I'm sure it isn't. However, today we are focusing on youth. And one important subject, social responsibility. Those of us who are all over the world may be acquainted to what is known as social responsibility. In this case, corporate social responsibility. And it's about the effective use of some of the taxations collected from companies. Yes, from companies. And where do they end up? They end up with, in this case, the government of Nigeria. How do they use it? I have no idea. Stay tuned as we find out from a team better equipped to explain. Let me see if the keynote speaker is with us. I saw him earlier, and I hope he's still with us. Let's see. It looks as if he's no longer in the Zoom area. I did warn them that I will start the program on time. In England, time is money. You don't waste time. If you've just joined me again, I am Erelu Tuwashe. Some other people, they know me as Henry Alderman is the political title. Erelu Lola Ayoride, yes, with a track record of trying to make my little contribution to society. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I haven't left the stage yet, determined to be there for quite some time. Let me go back into the Zoom area and see if Chief Ubani is supposed to be the keynote speaker, whether he's rejoined us. It may be that network, as usual, is a problem. But whilst I'm waiting for him, let me repeat my rules. Please, if you are in a noisy area, I should remove you from the studio. I will remove you. I mean it, I will remove you because the rules were sent out to you. Let's have a look who is the noisy one. I regret I will have no alternative other than to remove you from the very interesting. Now I'm going to learn how to speak Hausa. Wow. Interesting. Fascinating. Right, let's have a look. Let's see who else I've got to find. Dear team from Nigeria, I sent out the rules. Please don't remain in the studio. If you are in a noisy area, if you are driving a vehicle, please unlog and park. It's not safe to do so anyway. And if you do have to take important phone call, my appeal to you, and it's very special appeal, please just simply log out and come back. Zoom is very sensitive. The noise from your environment will be heard all over the world. I can see there's Abubakar Shehu Wahara, who is still not sitting still. Please, Alaji Abubakar, cooperation, please, I beg of you. I beg of let's go straight. And I can see somebody called Vincent Anthony Yu. I'm not sure who that is. I may not be able to see all your name, but a very warm welcome. While we're here, we are gathered here to explore the important issues which I understand affect a lot of young people in Nigeria. Let's see if Chief Ubani is back with us. No, Chief Ubani is not. Well, I'm going to go straight to somebody called Eunice Bakare. We got to start the program. Time is up yesterday. Hello, Eunice. Eunice, are you with us? Eunice Bakare, are you with us? Right, no Eunice Bakare. Dr. Tanimo Woshola is in the studio area. Hello, Dr. Tanimo, are you with us?
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm on the wheels, but I'll be doing my talk as the diving goes on. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm afraid we do need to start. I'm going to have to invite you. If you can park for a moment, we need to start the program, unfortunately. Chief Ubani is not in the studio, and people are waiting all over the world for this program to commence. I can't be waiting online. So please introduce yourself, Dr. Tanimo, and tell us a bit about your organization and what you do.
I'm Dr. Tanimo Oshola. I'm the Medical Officer of Health for the Executive Local Government. My duty is I work as a public health physician, coordinating the activities of health workers, community volunteers within the local government. Part of my work is epidemic management, which is the pandemic we have now. So from the one of the pandemic, I've been involved in testing, isolation, and contact tracing. This contact tracing, the youths of our community, they have been up and doing. We have not had any cause to search out for personnel. Anytime we need personnel, even in the face of the pandemic, they were out. Someone like Mrs. Eunice Bakare, they were all passionately out, contact tracing all those people that have been in contact with the initial index case within our local government. So briefly, that's what I'll come here to talk about.
So you are the primary care level, would that be the right assumption to
Yes,
make?
primary care level. Yes, yes.
And
Public
primary
health,
care
primary
means
care
at the
level,
forefront.
primary medicine. Yes.
Dr. Tanimo.
Yes, hello?
Right. I've just invited you to explain what you mean by primary care.
Yeah, primary care is the first level of care in the healthcare system. We have three levels of care. We have the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary level of care. In primary care, we have our main goal is prevention. And as they say, prevention is better than cure. And under the primary care system, we have three main areas that we look at. We have the primary prevention, we have the secondary prevention, and we also have the tertiary prevention. Primary prevention, essentially, we do not want the individual to come down with any form of illness. We are not bothered about treatment. We want to prevent illness. And what we use is health promotion, health awareness, health education. We want to educate people because if you educate people, they will know about their health and they will prevent these diseases, and we will not have this pandemic or all these communicable diseases in the first place. For secondary prevention, the person has already come down with illness, but we screen. We go to the community, we screen people. We screen people for cancer of the cervix, we screen them for cancer of the breast, to catch them early so that we'll be able to treat them before they become very serious. We call it early diagnosis. All right, and then the tertiary prevention is, yeah, fine, people have come down with this sickness, but we do not want them to now go to the next stage. So we prepare for rehabilitation. So my work basically encompasses all these areas. So we do a lot of immunization programs. We do a lot of awareness programs, a lot of sensitization programs within the community to keep people healthy and safe and sound. So that is in a nutshell, like a summary of what we do in primary care. Now, the secondary care is where we have the curative, and that's where you go for treatment. Like the general hospital, go there, and then what they are not going to be bothered about prevention. What they will do is that you have come there with a case, and they want to solve that case in a more therapeutic, definitive way. So that is the rule. Then the tertiary, in Nigeria, there is overlap between secondary, tertiary. Some of the tertiary even do more of the secondary work. But in an ideal situation, the tertiary institution is supposed to look at research and development into medicine and how to progress the general health of people. So that's a summary of what primary health care, and then try and make a comparison so that we can draw a line between what we do and what other healthcare systems do.
Thank you. Let's focus on the pandemic, because obviously that's the main reason why you have kindly joined us. What is the situation with the young people? What is the situation with them? Is prevention working, or you are seeing them more at the secondary care level? And are you able to comment on the hardships associated with this pandemic and the experiences of young people in Nigeria?
The pandemic has not been a favorable thing for all age groups. Our children are home. They've lost academic year. We have adults that have not been able to work. Those that are lucky that can work from home are able to work remotely. Those that have to, some of them, their offices have to close because of the pandemic, and a lot of health issues has been affected. So it has been an holistic problem, I would say, for young people, because if we have a large number of people that are working and they cannot work and they are affected, there is a problem. If there is health issue and there are a large number of young people that are working and they cannot go, they are ill, the husband is ill, and he has to use the money that he's supposed to use to pay for his children's school fees. He has to use that money to take care of his health. So we dip into the family purse, and that will affect what goes on within the family. So I would say the pandemic has affected young people in every way possible in Nigeria. Economically, it has affected us. Academically, it has affected the youth. Even health-wise, it has affected the youth. My first case, COVID-19 case in my local government, was a young lady who was struggling in Dubai. Unfortunately, she had the problem, so she had to run back home. She took the last flight to Lagos before the airport was shut. That was the first lockdown. And I met her, I saw the situation she was in. And she has lost her job. She's at home now. We didn't lose her. But unfortunately, she's lost her job, which is also very important. And the second wave, and we're also going through the same problem. So if I would say generally, young people have lost a lot. They've lost money, they've lost health, and we have lost some people as well to COVID-19. So talking about the effect of the consequences of the pandemic of 20 years to come, what people have lost in terms of material, livelihood, and in terms of even their emotional state of mind. It's quite a disaster. Hello?
Can I just check one thing with you quickly? Were you saying that somebody ran away from Dubai knowing she was unwell and decided to board the plane and come to Nigeria? Is that what we're saying?
What I'm saying is that the first wave of COVID-19, that example I cited now is during the first wave. I said that was the first case I had. I'm just referring to young people. She's a young lady of 28 who is working in Dubai. That was the very first case I had in Nigeria. We didn't know what COVID-19 was about. I'm a doctor. I didn't know what it's about. Everybody we're all guessing until we were told that there was going to be a lockdown. And we're making reference to the 1918, 1919 pandemic, the Spanish flu. So everybody was afraid. So I wouldn't judge her for coming home. I mean, why would she want to stay somewhere else? She would want to go to where she will meet her family and they will be able to assist her. We didn't know so much about the pandemic. This is the second wave. We know a lot more about the pandemic now, and mortality is reducing now because now we are able to adjust things. We have vaccines in the backyard. We have dexamethasone, which is very effective. We have the antiretroviral that is working. So for her to move down, run home, I don't think I want to judge her based on that.
Well, I don't think asking that question suggests a judgment. It was just to understand the fear which actually led to somebody running away all the way from Dubai, that one would really assume he's got more resources that you can think of.
Yeah, people ran away from England to come to Nigeria. We had
really?
a mind that the temperature. Yeah, people thought, oh, it's a thing of the climate. It's a weather problem. Or people left.
Okay. Most interesting.
Okay, maybe the snow. Let me come to Nigeria. Is warmer. All kinds of things we had then, thinking that was the solution to our problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let me see if I have other members of your team who have joined us. Is Eunice Bakre with us? If she is, may I welcome you, Eunice Bakre? May I invite you to introduce yourself and share your thoughts on the subject matter of today. Is Eunice Bakre with us? I have actually invited Eunice Bakare to speak. I wonder if she's in the Zoom area. I can see your name.
She's online.
Hello,
She's
Eunice.
online.
Okay. Eunice,
She's online.
are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. A very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. You are one of the members of the team.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation.
It's a privilege to have you too. Please share your thoughts with us. What's the situation?
Can you hear me?
Very clearly, one can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eunice Bakare, National Director, NYCSRF Ladies Wing. And I'm really honored to be on this program. Thank you all for your invitation. Thank you. Thank you. So basically, NYCSRF Ladies Wing is a newly constituted body from the main body, NYCSRF, to help empower the young women, enhance their skills and talents by putting it into practice and utilizing the skills, such as their careers, their whatever thing they venture into, whatever skills they want to venture into. And this year we intend to focus more on entertainment by putting a smile on a lot of young youths, young women, putting a smile on their faces. But due to the pandemic has really, really dealt with us. It has really, really affected a lot of lives around the globe, causing isolation, contact restrictions, and economic shutdown. It has really, really changed the psychological environment in all countries, especially in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. So basically, this has led a lot of young youths to go into depression, have caused a lot of opportunities. Some people lost the opportunities in getting new jobs. Like for me, I was supposed to get a very, very good job last year, March. And due to the pandemic, I lost it. Company shut down. People are going to anxiety everywhere. People are going to depression, peer contact, peer pressure, so many lack, domestic violence, a lot of things are really, really going wrong in the country. And we need to improve, we need to help these young ladies. My ESCOs and I, with my Director General, Mr. Anthony Vincent Subani, we're trying to come up with this constituted body to help engage the youth, to help engage them in creating opportunities for them by venturing into different different activities. Because for the past 5 years, there are different NGOs that are really, really into skills acquisition. A lot of youth have been engaging in skills acquisition for over 5 years, learning how to do things, learning how to do makeup, fashion. A lot of people are really improving in themselves, but then there are not enough opportunities for these people. For us, there are no opportunities. Like a lot of people are unemployed, no capital to venture into all these things. As an entrepreneur, you want to venture into a business of your choice and you don't have capital. We need support from the government. We need sponsors. We need people that will give us opportunity. The masses are really suffering. A lot of people are suffering. Our young ladies are on the streets, hustling, looking for means of survival. It's not easy in Nigeria. We need help. Yeah, we need help. Some people that I know, there are a lot of stories that have led a lot of young ladies to go into deep shit, sexual and slavery. They've used them for rituals. Our girls are really, really struggling here in Nigeria. We need help, home and abroad. Home and abroad, a lot of girls in Italy doing prostitution. They're struggling, trying to help their family, trying to provide for their families. I have a friend, her mother is ill, her father, she lost her dad, she doesn't have a job at all. And she has no other option than being on the streets, looking for means of survival. It's really, really so sad. It's sad, so sad. So sad that a lot of us are struggling. And really, the COVID-19 has really, really affected us a lot. Affected us a lot. Like, I just want us to be okay. I want people to help us here. I want people to help us in Nigeria. A lot of girls are suffering. I'm really focusing. Everybody in general, women, men, children, yes, but I'm focusing on ladies. A lot of ladies are on the streets. We are suffering. We are suffering. The governments are not hearing our voices. We are really, really going through a lot. It's not easy for us. So I don't know if this is a channel for us for everybody to hear our voices, for them to give us a chance with this constituted body we are about to venture into, for it to come, for us to be able to put it into progress and for it to touch a lot of lives here in Nigeria and help the young ladies, help the youth.
Thank you very much indeed. Let us go back to, are you still there, or you have, are you still there, or you finished your contribution? I can't hear you anymore. I can't hear you anymore.
Sorry, can you hear me now? I think the network is
no problems.
I can't hear you too.
No problems. Please go ahead now. Over to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So with this platform we're trying to create, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. We need support. We need support from sponsors, different sponsors, to help us with items, with funds, with different, because what we're trying to create is activities that will touch a lot of different skills, different skills acquisition, putting it like creating a competition within the young ladies. If you are very good in beauty and skincare, how would you let us know that how would you let us know that you're very good for us? Sorry, can you hear me?
Can you just stop for a moment? May I use this opportunity to remind you that attached to my system, if you continue to be noisy from your end, you may suddenly find yourself removed and you won't be able to get back in. So please cooperate and keep the movement a minimum, please. Baba Muhammad Isa, please, my appeal, keep the noise to a minimum.
No, I will suggest you mute everybody from your own end. Mute everybody so that for easy clarification.
If I mute everybody, most people will be able to come in easily because of the network.
All right.
I suggest if you can mute yourself.
Can you hear me at all? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Great.
we can hear you. Hello, go on.
Excellent, excellent. Sister Eunice Bakari, are you still there? Let me try and unmute you. Okay, let's have a look. Sister Eunice Bakari, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Right.
I can hear you.
You may proceed. You may proceed now.
So basically, we need
support, and I'm asking. I want to know support to do what exactly, and what sort of support are you looking for?
Okay. So we are basically looking for support from sponsors because we're going to be having different activities. Okay, such as if you can see in the working document that I drafted, we talked about this year we're going to concentrate on entertainment by we're engaging everybody into different competitions from different skills acquisitions as fashions, music, competition, beauty contests and all, arts and crafts, beauty, skincare, acting, such basically to touch every areas of talents and skills for everybody to be engaged in. So it's not going to be easy for us. We need mobilization for it, moving around, engaging everybody from state to state. We're going to touch every part of Nigeria. Okay. So we need basically items. So I'll be on ground. Okay. Sorry?
No, it's not from my end. Please go continue.
Okay. So I'm going to give you an example of the kind of support we need, such as if we are to do like a fashion exhibition right now, like fashion exhibition for a lot of youths that are into fashion. So we need support like items such as fabrics, sewing machines, things that got to relate to tailoring and fashion.
Can I ask you, how would that help? How would that help ease the hardships? This fashion with
it's
pandemic and
they are different.
How would that help
fashion
you?
and pandemic, yeah. So it will help the youth a lot because some of our youths are jobless. Some of them are on the streets. Some of them are into drugs. Some of them don't really know what to do with their lives. Sorry. Some of them don't really know what to do with their lives. So if we create all these kind of activities, competitions for these youths to engage in, then they will be happy. They'll try, to adjust their life and try to venture into something good. And because of the pandemic, we also need, all these safety items like face masks, sanitizer, hand wash, because now they're talking about social distancing. Now, if you want to go into all these activities, we have to. So by wearing a face mask,
I think fashion and pandemic, I'm not sure is the right time for promoting fashion at this point in time. But I think the issue of
using our sanitizers and all, we can also carry on with these activities.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so there are other activities to do as well, like such as skincare. We'll create a competition, cooking competition. People that likes cooking, you know, a lot of people they set up restaurants. They don't have what's it called, customers. They don't know how to upgrade. So this platform is basically helping helping every youth to grow. And if you are you have a hotel, sorry, like I'm trying to give examples so you understand where I'm coming from. As a sponsor, you have hotels and you need workers. And if NYCRF is creating all these activities whereby, okay, they are having a cooking show, and you get to know that, okay, this cooking competition, this is the winner. That she's very good. She won the show. She won the competition. Well, I can actually help her. I can employ her. I can make her my top chef in my hotel. This is basically creating a platform to help individuals, sell themselves, show what they have, their talent they got, and help will come. An opportunity is just basically an opportunity for people to grow, young ladies to grow, basically. And it's not just fashion, it's not just cooking competitions. There are other things. There are acting, there are hair making, there are beauty pageants. There are other things we want to really do that will touch the lives of every young Nigerian youth. Yeah, ladies, basically.
Thank you very much indeed. I think we are going to just stop for a moment because your lead officer, Chief Ubani, needs to re-enter the Zoom area. Let's see if we can bring him back. Let's see if we can bring him back into the Zoom area.
All right.
Just hold on for a moment. Just try and see if I can get him back. Okay, let's have a look. I just want to do this. And let's see. NYCSRF. I've sent a message to him. Hopefully he'll be able to get back into the Zoom area. Right, if you've just joined me, we are still waiting for the lead speaker for today, who sadly, because of noise, has found himself outside of the Zoom area. My special appeal to you is to just hold on for a moment and see if we can get him back into the Zoom area. What about Lucy Famudila? Is she with us? Hello, Lucy, are you with us?
Yeah.
Hello, Lucy.
Lucy, yes.
Lucy is not with us, or is she having problems with network? Okay. Lucy is not with us. We are still waiting for your lead officer, who probably will be able to facilitate some of you. I can see in the audience, Abubakar S, I think, is it BE? Abubakar,
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma, I can hear you, ma. Comrade Abubakar SBA.
Okay. Now,
yes,
are you a member of the organization? Tell us about this organization that you're a member of.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Comrade Abubakar SBA from Borno State. I'm the Borno State Coordinator of Nigerian Youth Corporate Social Responsibility Fund.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about what you do in Borno.
Yes, ma'am. We are level that we are now planning to have. And we have been doing some meetings. Hello.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you, Abubakar.
Hello. Hello.
I can hear you. Please go ahead. I can hear you.
Are you hearing me, ma?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Oh my God.
I can hear. I think you may have to remove the earpiece because sometimes it makes it difficult, but I can hear you. I can hear you, or unmute yourself. You're already unmuted, so you should be able to.
Hello.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, ma. You know, we have a lot of problem here in the Northeast, most especially Borno State.
Okay.
Our youth are really suffering, honestly speaking. In our first meeting, a lot of issues was discussed pertaining the youth problems. We all know, I don't need to talk much on the problem we're facing in Borno State for the past 11 years today. Security problem, Boko Haram problem, and the rest. Most of our youth, they lost their jobs. Some don't even have parents. They are struggling for survival from hand to mouth, and so many things. Some have gone into a very difficult situation. Some have gone into drug abuse, prostitution, and then the rest. But we are trying our best to see how we can bring them back. We try to discuss some issues with the top management team here in Borno State. But the problem is finance. Funding is the problem. Our youth need a lot of things to come back to their senses. But the government here, their concern is the people in the IDP camps. The people in the IDP camps, the government are trying to feed them, even though we have some NGOs that are supporting the government. But honestly, the support is not that much. We really have a very good governor that has the people in mind, but the problem is funding. His own concern now is to see how he can feed these people in the IDP camps and then return them back again to their places so that they can also enjoy their lives the way others are now enjoying. So honestly speaking, we need help from you. Seriously, honestly speaking, our problem here is funding. Our youths are really suffering. They are really suffering. I just don't know. I don't know. Sorry, please. I'm so much confused because when I see them, when I go to the camp, always people used to cry. We cried. There is no way you will enter the camp without you sharing tears. So honestly speaking, members here are suffering, the youth are suffering, the old men are suffering, the women are suffering. We really need your help. Even we that are working, we cannot eat almost 70% of our salary. At the end of the month, you see them coming in to your house, and then you must have to help them. And there is no house here in Borno State that is not directly or indirectly affected by this insurgency. Most of the houses, 90% of the houses, they have IDP camps in their homes. and the salary is not taking you anywhere, because you must have a parent, you must have brothers, sisters that are depending on you. So our main challenge now is help. We need your help, please. We need your help. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go straight to, thank you, Comrade Abubakar.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's go straight on to someone else. There's somebody called Honorable Destiny. Honorable Destiny, you are in the Zoom area. Are you there? Okay. What about John Desmond? John Desmond? John Desmond, are you with us? I hope, let me see if there's problem with Desmond. He's actually in the studio. Okay, what about Makama Sunday? Makama Sunday, are you there? Right. Are you finding it difficult to unmute yourself? I can see you are not muted from my side. Okay, let's go.
I can hear you clearly.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Please go ahead. Introduce yourself, please.
I am Makama Sunday, a member from Kaduna State chapter.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what is happening in Kaduna State.
Ma?
Tell us what is going on in Kaduna State with the young people and COVID.
Yeah, the problem is almost like the same thing everywhere. If you go, the youth are demoralized based on what is happening. Most of the companies, as you know, Kaduna area side, most of the companies are shut down. The youth can no longer work. They cannot feed their aged parents. Where you are working, you cannot be paid.
Hello. Are we there? Right, let's see if I can, okay. Makama Sunday, are you still there with us? Hello. Makama Sunday, are you still there with us? We can't hear him anymore. Let's go to Baba Muhammadu Isa. Are you there? Baba Muhammadu Isa, are you there? Let me see, I have already unmuted you. Let's see. Baba, are you there? Can you unmute yourself? Baba, can you unmute yourself and speak to us? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm already unmuted myself.
Thank you.
Hello, hi, ma'am.
Please introduce yourself and tell us what is happening where you are.
Hello. Hello.
I'm listening to you. We are hearing you. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, my name is Baba. Hello. My name is Baba Melissa. Secretary General, Nigerian Youth Corporate Social Responsibility Fund, Investor Chapter. Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Please go ahead. I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you.
They want to see me now. They don't see me. Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you very well. I hope you haven't got earpiece on.
I'm experiencing a network problem in my area.
Okay. Let's leave you. Let's leave you for a
So
moment and go
I
to
don't think that is
else.
how I joined the meeting.
Okay,
let's go to somebody else. Let's go to somebody else. What about Patrick Oderoha? What about Patrick Oderoha? Are you there? Patrick, are you there?
Hello? I'm here, yeah. Hello?
Please introduce yourself and tell us what's going on in your area.
I'm Patrick Godero. I've actually joined the meeting from the United Kingdom, so I'm just listening to what's going on.
Okay. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Go ahead. Thank you. Let's go straight on to somebody else. Israel Wonder, are you in Nigeria? Israel, what about you, Israel Wonder? You joined us?
Yeah, I'm in Nigeria.
Please introduce yourself. Are you in Nigeria or outside?
I'm in Nigeria. Israel Wonder. I'm in Nigeria.
Okay. Introduce yourself. Tell us what is happening. Are you a member of this organization?
Yeah, I'm Comrade Israel Wonder from Ogun State.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a member of the organization from Ogun State, and yeah, I've been following up events of the National Youth Corporate Social Responsibility Fund. So from our
Comrade, are you there with us still? Or network is taking you away? Comrade, we are waiting for you. Are you still there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I said I'm Comrade Israel Wonder from Ogun State, a member of NYCSRF.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you.
The event, I want to salute the courage of the ESCOs, the state ESCOs, and national ESCO, how far they've been doing, orientating and sensitizing the youth, despite the challenges we are facing right now in this part of the world and globally. But the youth we are facing with a lot of challenges now. Even though right before the COVID, the youth has been neglected in the society, but the few of us who are taking the bull by the horn are ensuring we are surviving despite the different challenges in the government. But prior to the COVID, I can see that many of us who have something to do, we try to help others in our locality and community. And in between the COVID that really paralyzed a lot of activities. Many of our youth has lost their job. Their livelihood is on threat. But the reasonable ones who cannot take to violence, they are still trying to cope and ensuring that their human responsibility is not lost, because the COVID has really affected most of the youth reasoning, that they are taking to violence or just trying to survive, because it is taking a hard time on youth. It's telling on us very well. But this organization, since I've been with them, I can see their administration, the way to coordinate the youth so as not to lose every hope, because it seems every hope is almost lost. But the lady that spoke before centered more on the ladies, and I want to speak. That's why I'm a man, a young man. I want to speak on the ladies because the ladies are mostly affected. Like she said, most of them, they want to survive. Everybody must survive because Nigeria now is not a survivor of the fittest. And I can see that most of our ladies, they are taken to the streets, and it's worrisome, and it's a high concern for a reasonable government to rise up to this task. But the Nigeria youth need support, and the support that we need is basically must come from the government, and government should rise to the occasion. We see, despite the pandemic, we see what happened October, and then we don't want a repeat of such to a certain extent. But all the same, we want to appeal to the Nigerian government that despite the raging of the pandemic all over the places, that they should come out with, partner with bodies like this, because this body has branches across the board. And partnering with this body and giving them a full support, they can easily assess those youth who are affected, who are in need of getting themselves out of this pandemic because of the loss of the job and other things around us. So I want to use this opportunity to employ the government to come to the rescue of the youth, because the youth are the builder of the nation. And if you neglect the youth, I'm so sorry. We are in what era we want to find our nation. And if you build the youth, you can build the nation everywhere. So I really salute the courage of the national body to the states. Yes, I'm a member. I'm an ESCO. And the activity of the ESCO in my state have been very encouraging. There are meetings, meeting the government and the government of the Ogun State back and forth. So I really salute their courage, but we need more support. We need them. We need government at this instant. Now, the second phase of the COVID is here with us. So should we fold our hands and look things go to the drain? No. The government must come out in all full force to ensure that we, the youth, we are not neglected, because we have a lot of talented one among us, but until we look and search for them before this talent can be materialized. So I really want to say that the youth must be catered for. If really we have a drive for this country, we must not neglect the youth in the process. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're from Ogun State. You're the first one to talk about government and the need for involvement. Let me go straight on to Chief Vincent Ubani. I think we are lucky he's rejoined us in the studio. Over to you, Chief Ubani. Please introduce yourself and take us through what the young people are going through in your particular area, and most especially throughout Nigeria, as you're the lead officer. Over to you.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all over the 774 local government of Nigeria and diaspora worldwide. I am delighted to join you, or even though that I have some technical challenges. I've been on earlier before the program begins, but I am glad I'm back on air. My name is Honorable Vincent Anthony Ubani. I'm the Director General from the Nigerian Youth Headquarters in FCT Abuja. Currently, I'm in Lagos, Nigeria, working with the National State Primary Healthcare Development Agency Board Management here in Lagos State on our ongoing code word H2H and D2D operation in sensitizing the masses on the COVID-19 rules and regulation, and also to ensure that we save lives of our people, because we all know that currently we are facing the second wave of the COVID-19. This time around, the case is actually critical, and Lagos is the heart. So I've been here in Lagos. This is making me almost a month and 21 days. I've been in Lagos State. We arrived here, not only me, I am my delegate. We arrived here on the 1st of December. Today is 21st. So we have been in Lagos 1 full month and 21 days. We are here because since last year, January, February, we started sensitization program to support the federal government in areas that we can. We were creating awareness on Lassa fever, and we notified the Ministry of Health. As time goes on, the ministry, that was around March, the COVID-19 issue begin to becomes like a threat. That is when we receive a notice from the Federal Ministry of Health on the 1st of April that we should join our sensitization program, which is a nationwide program, to COVID-19. We should join the both of them, Lassa fever, COVID-19 sensitization. And we should liaise and work with the 774 local government primary health care. We have health educators. So this is how we started working with the primary health cares, because the NYCSRF is a structure that cut across the 774 local government. As of today, we have 200 person per local government that was designed to support on the sensitization, to create awareness, to make the people be in the knowing of what the COVID-19 is all about and what they should do to prevent them from being spread to the larger population. We have been doing this work. We are working with the state primary health care development board management. We are working with the health educators at the local government, primary health care health educators at the local government. They have given us trainings and our people are working. And so far so good. We have worked. We have really worked. The only problem we are facing, the only problem Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, so far so good. So far so good. We have been working since last year, April 1st. To date, we are working in Akwa Ibom, in many states. Our people are working. What are we working? We are just working to support the government, to see that we send a strong message to the communities, to the rural communities, grassroots, so people can be aware of what the danger that faces us in this current pandemic. Hello.
May I interrupt, Chief Ubani? You've been talking about you are working. How is your organization funded? Before you rejoined us, I have had the privilege of listening to people from different sectors. How are you funded? Because you've been in Lagos for at least 6 weeks from what you are saying. So how are you funded? How is your organization funded?
Yes, actually, the federal government is supposed to give us financial support in all what we are doing. We have a budget we presented to the federal government, and so far so good. The federal government did not fund us. No money has been funded to us. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control said we should that all money has been funded to state, that the state government is going to fund us, and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency said we should go to state, and that's why I've been in some state. I've been in Kogi State. I've been in. I've reached out to almost the southwest states. I've written to them. None of the government has complied. They are still not. They have not actually giving us a feedback response. We are just working. There is no financial
support. Since last year, February to date, we have been working from our own personal resources. In fact, not own. Sometimes I'm living on loan. We are borrowing money to work because we have already gotten to a length we cannot even go back. And we are still in pandemic. And if we're in pandemic and a lot of money has been sink since last year to now and we've not seen anything, we've borrowed money from different sources. Personally, I have to sell some properties to even move ahead to move the body because I am the Director General and I am when everybody is on my neck. So I have to do the needful. We are here for roughly 6 weeks, like you said, or 7 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I know what we have been passing through here. We have been passing through hell here in Lagos State because since I arrived in Lagos State, I've visited the governor's office for more than 4 times, but we've not been able to hear anything, any meaningful information from the government.
Permit me to interrupt you so that the viewers will understand your relationship with the government of Nigeria. Am I right to say you are an umbrella organization? Tell us what has been the basis of relationship between your organization as well as with either the states or the federal government. Have they ever funded you? Do you have a partnership with them? How does it work?
What happened is this. In 2017, the Nigerian youth has been frequently been abused on area that has to do with the rights of the youth in the Federation. No youth has been able to be proud to say, I am a Nigerian, and this is what I have been benefited from my government as part of my right. Now, this has been there. Just like I did a presentation in 2017 at the Red Chamber when the former Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, was the Senate President. When they called, I was there to represent the Nigerian youth at the Youth Unemployment and Underdevelopment. He was the chairman of the program at the Senate, at the House of Assembly, and I was there to represent the Nigerian youth. When I did my presentation, I told them that time I was around 37 or 38 years. I told them that since I was born to this date, I have never in my life seen any
It's a bit of network problem. I'm sure he will rejoin us. Whilst we're waiting for Chief Obani, it sounds very clear that the organization that is doing so much work doesn't seem to have the support of either the state government or the federal government. And from my end here in the West, an organization that is working closely, it appears, with the government. I'm wondering, why is it that that government is using the services of the organization and is not accepting responsibility to provide funding? I wonder if there's anybody in the Zoom area who can answer the question I have. If you are an organization representing all Nigerian youths and you're doing so much work, we've heard what is happening in the Northeast. I'm very surprised about the Northeast because I would have expected that in the Northeast of Nigeria, given a lot of issues in that part of the country, a lot more should have been happening for young people. Let me see if I can find somebody else. So far, listening to all of you, Let me tell you what I am unfortunately concluding. First, I see underdevelopment of young people, even those of you who have come forth, to represent the others. I see underdevelopment of your good selves in terms of the capacity to facilitate the knowledge one requires on this important topic. The first aspect of the topic remains hardships. Yes, of course, poverty, hardships always is around in Nigeria, many of us will say. Different parts of that country, there's always poverty. And I regret to say that is evidently clear on social media. You will always get one young Nigerian person begging for money if, unfortunately, they are not trying some form of crime or another. Always young people. Now, having said that, we now have COVID-19. And I'm wondering, here we go. One, what can one do to facilitate assistance? Some of the issues that I'm picking up from you seems to be appropriate, because whilst you have lockdown, obviously level of activities must go on. Who funds that? How is it funded? I haven't heard any of you mention even a tiny bit of support from your state. There is a barrister, Nosiru Banjo. I wonder if he's one of your members, and I think he's one of your legal, if not the legal officer for your organization. I don't know if he's still with us. I saw him in the studio earlier on. Let me ask the question. Is there any one of you representing different states whose state government is providing you any kind of support? Is there any state represented here where the state is assisting young people, especially with this COVID-19, as far as your organization is concerned, and the consequential hardships being experienced? The gentleman from Ogun State was talking about women. The women. I want to be able to have an understanding of what's happening to these young women, because if you also as a male highlighted a need to focus on needs of women, I want to be much clearer what is happening with these young women. So let me put my first question to anybody. You may raise up your hands, please. Is there any state represented here today where the state government is assisting you, assisting your organization with the important work you are doing, which is enabling young people to prevent COVID-19, and whilst there's lockdown, to enable them to manage, obviously, financial difficulties? So is there any representative of a state here where your state government is assisting you? If none, then I want to ask, is there any of you representing a state where there is direct relationship with your state government? And are you able to describe what sort of relationship do you have with your state government, and which of the ministries in particular, which of the departments in particular, which level of your state is it? At the local government level? Is it at the state assembly level? Is there anybody who can help us with that question? Is there a state representative, Plateau State? Any representative from Plateau State? Anambra, Abia, Kogi, Kwara. Anyone from Kwara? There is Lucy Fadumila still in the studio. Lucy Fadumila, are you able to answer my question? You are one of the representatives of the organization. Lucy Fadumila. Okay. There's someone here called Pamik or Pamik, P-A-M-I-K. And there is someone called Olashebikon Emmanuel. Mr. Emmanuel, are you Nigeria based or you are in the diaspora?
I'm based in Nigeria. I live in Kwara State.
Oh, excellent. That's a bit of luck. Are you a member of the organization? And can you share your experiences of what's going on in Kwara State?
What I can say about Kwara State is that the government is not really serious about youth empowerment. We pay lip service to everything. Everything is being politicized. In fact, over 2,774 youths were disengaged on the 24th of December in Kwara State under the disguise that the last government that employed them did not follow due process. And to be sincere with you, all these people went through over 6, or let me say 7 screening processes. None of them were found wanting. By the end of the day, instead of them collecting their confirmation letter on the 1st of January 2021, they were all asked to go home on the 24th of December 2020. That was a Christmas gift the governor gave to the youth of the state. And even the Youth Council, National Youth Council of Nigeria in Kwara State, the government is not really doing well with them. They don't have an office, no official car. I have a relationship with the chairman of the state and even the secretary, because I was part of the youth that attended the last convention of the Youth Nigeria Youth Council in Bombay in 2018. Other states are trying concerning youth affairs, but Kwara State is not really trying at all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. From what you are saying, I'm going to use the word, the allegation against Kwara State government seems to be that they just sacked a lot of young people. They terminated their employment. Would that be accurate?
Definitely, ma. I hardly talk on social media. I'm not a writer, but sometimes I don't talk on issues that have to do with government, because I believe every government will only come around and try their best. But in terms of Kwara State, I don't understand. No good government will come on board with the hardship in town due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I think governments are supposed to support youth, not to disengage those that have been employed for no matter reason. 6 to 7 screening exercises. And at the end of the day, you ask people to go home. They are now on the street with no means of livelihood, moving around, going back to where they've left. They have families. Some of them have loans to pay. I'm telling you facts and figure of what is happening in Kwara State. I'm a Kwara to the core. I'm a grassrooter. I live in my town, in a Okero local government. I just had to be in Lagos for an assignment. As I'm talking to you, I'll be in Kwara by Saturday again. So that is the fact about what is happening in Kwara State. I have nothing to gain degrading the name of the governor or the state or government. I will only tell you what is happening in the state. And this is the fact of what is happening.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much indeed. Let's look at another state. Let me see. What about Edo State? Do we have anybody from Edo State? Edo State? Abia State, Kogi State, or your state? I haven't heard of your state so far. Enugu State. Hello, are you Enugu? Are you Enugu State? No, Enugu State. Right. Now let me see who else we can invite to share thoughts with us. Before I ask you, what now do you consider to be your preferred solution? Because all you have done, you've highlighted a lot of problems. Social Responsibility Fund, which Nigerian government should be able to facilitate a lot of what you are looking for. They're supposed to use it for something. And there are many companies in Nigeria who pays their due tax. And when they do pay it to government. And how does the government administer the taxation received from businesses if none of it is being used to assist? I haven't heard any state so far to say help has been given. What's going to be the solution? Let's explore action plan. What should be happening? Nobody so far has told us that your experience is positive. Let me invite someone to comment. Shagun Sky. Shagun Sky. Somebody called Shagun Sky. Which state are you from? Shagun Sky, where are you? Which state are you from? There's somebody called Shagun Sky on my screen here. What about we have lost Bani again. He's found himself outside of the studio. I think it's the network that is the main issue. Let's begin to look at solutions. Makama Sunday, please, can you suggest the sort of assistance you would like from your government? Let's see what would you like your government to do? That's the government of Nigeria. What would you like the government of Nigeria to do? Let's see. Can you unmute yourself? Makama Sunday, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, okay, thank you. What would you like the government of Nigeria? Let's start with your state. Remind us of your state again, your state government.
Yeah, I am Makama Sunday from Kaduna chapter. Okay. What I'm trying to say there is you look at even under the youth and social development in Kaduna State, the youth and sport, we're supposed to be leading by youth. You end up seeing an elderly person of 60 years being a commissioner of youth. How can you work hand in hand? A younger person supposed to be taking care of through them, they can work hand in hand with the government. But now you cannot even have access to the government because people that are under the Ministry of Youth are handled by the aged people. 70 years old is being a commissioner of youth. He can't work anywhere.
A 70-year-old is a commissioner of youth?
I'm just had an example. You cannot meet somebody with below 40 being as a commissioner. That one is not working anywhere. How can you motivate the younger ones to come when you're already 50, 60? A commissioner being 60, 70 years and you are a commissioner of youth and sport. How can that one work? How can you meet the government? There's not any access that you can meet the government. They have cut the youth out of the government, even in recruitment, whatever. The youth are nowhere to be found. Plus or minus, at least the government is supposed to be working with you in this generation. 21, we are in the 21st century. At least before in those days, you see secondary school, they do competition. From there, they begin to have this hard. And the youth are not participating in sport, are not participating in working with government. Even the small businesses, everywhere they are demolition here, demolition there, without building. How can the youth fall? The youth are falling their hands into all this. You look at banditry everywhere, here and there, kidnapping. What do you think that they are not educated? They are educated people. Why are they doing that? They cannot fold their hands, and what would they feed their parents with? What would they eat, by the way? So I believe the government have to fall back to the Ministry of Youth and Sport. That is where the youth can have their own say through that. Except this forum that people are trying to come together to form this forum. Now maybe, and you know, this government are not even giving a listening ear. Plus or minus.
Can I interrupt? You mentioned banditry.
Yes.
You are in Kaduna. Do you have this? Those of us who are outside of Nigeria, all we hear nowadays is cattle herdsmen killing somebody, raping somebody. This cattle rearers problem that we all read in the social media. Now, can you assist me? What do you have the same problem in Kaduna area where the cattle get all over the place and people are killed and maimed and all these allegations?
Sorry, let me shock you. Nobody that is coming to the north without passing through Kaduna. If you are going to Sokoto, Katsina, Jigawa, Kanu, Zamfara, Kebbi, you must pass through Kaduna. But how many people, you cannot pass through Kaduna, Abuja freely. This is only 200 kilometers journey. If there is no herdsmen on the road, kidnappers are there, banditry everywhere, here and there, and the next thing you hear, some are even attacking homes. If there's nothing to carry, even if it is 13 years old girl, they rape her, they just left, pregnant women are being raped here and there. If I had been the youth are having something to do, who will just leave the comfort zone and go to the bush and be staying in the bush? It can't walk anywhere. At least when you have something doing, you don't have time to be wasting the bush.
Are you saying that there are some young people are forced to go and live in the bush because of the socioeconomic problems? Go ahead.
They make a quick money because they don't have anything doing from their youthful. When they reach that, they cannot make anything in life. They go into that to make a quick money. If you may ask me, definitely. Have you ever seen anybody 50 years that has been arrested? Nobody. The youth we are seeing, you see 26 years, 24 years, what is he doing in the bush? None of them can pass 40 years. Ask the record. Google it anywhere. None of them can pass 40 years. Most of them you see 24 years, 20 years, 18 years. They are holding AK-47 for what? They are looking for money. They want to make it quickly. Because the government don't take care of anybody. Everybody is trying to survive on his own. Survival the fittest. If you survive, you fit to survive. And to them, that is the way that they have seen it, that it can work for them. So truly, the government has come down.
You've made suggestion. The first thing is that the government of any state should really have a commissioner who is a young person.
Of youth and sport. At least he can carry the burden of the youth through him. They can see the government. They can see with government and liaise how are we to do to make this youth to grow up in a way that, in the moral way, let me put it that way, in the moral way, not only for religion people to give moral teachings, even within the youth, within their peers group, when they are trying to do things together, nobody will show this issue of religion, whatever. Let the youth of sport and Minister of Youth and Sport should be handled by the youth. They can have access to their governor. Through that, when they table their whatever, their problems to him, he knows how to handle it.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed, Makama. You've been extremely helpful. It's interesting to note that you have banditry in Kano as well, and young people hiding around in the bushes and people being raped and kidnapped. It's just a way of making quick money, again, due to negligence of the government of the state and of course federal government. Let's go straight to Vincent Ubani. Chief Ubani, over to you now.
Yes, I want to once again thank the distinguished ladies and gentlemen in this program, and also let me apologize to everyone because here in Nigeria, just like the former speaker just said, we are living a life of survival of the fittest.
So if I manage to come on air, is that I'm able to come on air, because I don't know what is happening. The network is bad, so sometimes the network can just go off and you will be out of the program. So that's what I'm experiencing here. I want to go back to where I am earlier. I was discussing the issue that has to do with my presentation at the National Assembly when the former Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, was in his tenure, and he was the chairman of this program. I notified them on how the youth has been marginalized, on how the youth has been denied their fundamental rights as youth. I want to go to the history of the NYCSRF. The NYCSRF was designed at an agreement reached between the top youth leaders in Nigeria. This agreement was reached at the Nigerian Youth Headquarters, that is the Nigerian Youth House in Zone 3. We signed an MOU that we want to constitute a body. The reason is because the National Youth Council, which is an organization registered under the Corporate Affairs Commission, this council, this body, has been the body that the federal government has been using to deny the youth their rights. Everything that has to do with the youth, it always ends up channeled through that body, and at the end of the day, it ends in the name of the Youth Council, but it does not get to the people. Even the people that is the members or the stakeholders of the Youth Council, up to today that I speak, both their former and present leaders, since that I have met, at least between the space of 5 years, none of them can be proud to say, I am a member of the council, I am the part of the people that the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development has developed. The Federal Ministry of Youth Development is a ministry that is supposed to be designed. Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. The Federal Ministry of Youth Development is a ministry that is supposed to be designed to represent the interests of the youth in the 774 local government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to develop them. Now, my question is this, which I always ask them. On how much budget are they allocating to the Ministry of Youth Development that will develop Nigerian youth? And we are talking about youth that has a population of approximately 80 million Nigerian youths and students. They are all within the age of youth, both the students. So we are talking a large population of people here. And if you watch, they are only nothing but few. In fact, let me just say peanuts that has been allocated to the Ministry of Youth Development. And funny enough, even bear me witness, that money that is being allocated to the Ministry of Youth Development ends up in the Ministry of Youth Development, but it does not go out to reach to the people that is supposed to be used to be developed. I have been challenging the ministry. I have a lot of documents. I have a lot of hard documents that I can use to follow or to take anybody to any length, even to the courts, that the right thing is not being done by the government and the right thing is not being done by the ministry. This is why when we worked for the president, I'm a member of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Every young person that worked for President Muhammadu Buhari, we all gathered together and agreed we come to a resolve that we are going to work for the president for his re-election because we don't want to go back to Egypt. Because PDP era was not it wasn't it wasn't the era we can think of. The PDP era actually put us into a deep mess. So we were not ready to go back to Egypt. We were ready to move to the promised land, even if it is to break into the Red Sea. That's why we brought in President Muhammadu Buhari on board. But the only problem we have, and we are still having, is that all the young people that work for President Muhammadu Buhari, even when he told us, because we use our money, many of us sold our property. In this Festac, I sold my house. I sold my house. I'm in Festac now. I'm not even staying in my own property again. I'm staying with my own family property. My own personal property in Festac, I sold it. And I sold it because of the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. Because Mr. President told us there is no money. And we were being published in the newspaper as member of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Many of our youths, all of them, they are under us, under the NYCSRF. Because the NYCSRF was the umbrella that we used to carry all youth structure and give to President Muhammadu Buhari in his Presidential Campaign Council, where they call PCC. I and many of us were all published in the newspaper as members of the Presidential Campaign Council. We had a mutual, simple agreement: youth inclusion in governance, that the youth should be included in the government, which the president assured us that yes, he knows we are using our money, that if he wins, he is going to include us in his government. Okay, now, since the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari, I have written, a lot of people have been on my neck. We have written time without number, seeking for different audience, 10 minutes audience, even 2 minutes audience. We have seek for all audience. It was all published in the newspapers. We have written all these things. The only thing we could get is when they will call us to come to AGF, they will keep telling us different story, and none of them was attended to. We were not able to see the president up to today. But before the president was re-elected, I was in a program with him in the villa for more than 4 times. But why is it now that the president has been elected, we were no longer being assessed or allowed to see the president? The president does not even know that those that even suffer, the youth who worked, the most painful one is the coalition of young candidates. All the young candidates that are supposed to contest for election from different political party, which is the coalition of young candidates, under the mandate that he signed into law, not too young to run, the bill he signed into law. I was the president of the coalition because I contested for the governorship election too in my state, in Abia State. All the candidates, I have to lobby them in to see that we don't have divided house. Let's work for the president. Since the president said we should allow him finish his tenure, after his tenure in 2023, the youth can take over. And he's going to give us the support. So we have to give him the support. We spent a lot of money. I don't want to, as you see me, I am only trying to survive, not to, if not that I am a man enough. Somebody like me, I may have committed suicide. Because if I check what I've lost everything, including almost my family, because I can't even meet up their responsibility like I used to. Because what? Because I work for the president. If people who understand and knows how much I've sunk into the APC sees me, they laugh at me. I can't even go to my hometown. My life is on danger. Because the people are saying that the president, whatever they are facing today, that I was the one leading them to the population of youth that they should work for the president. So now I am taking part of the blames. Mr. President has not been able to hear from us because we've been crying. We've been doing different publications. We've done a lot of newspaper publication. We've done a lot of even television shows. We've called NTA, we've called AIT. We've heard our problems, but nothing has been done.
Chief Ubani,
has been done.
Chief, may I ask you a question? I want to understand how these things work. So,
yes,
when the president wanted to stand for election, did he come before you young people to talk to you, or he sent a representative? Did he come before you to talk to you?
We were all invited to the presidential villa, inside the villa, inside, not even the best gate, the inside one. We were all invited, and the president was with us live and direct. We took pictures.
Can I ask you a question? Now that the president has failed to fulfill his promise, have you approached the vice president?
The vice president, we have written to him. If you cannot access the president, then automatically the possibility of not accessing the vice president is the same. Because we have written, the highest we can do is to write to their office, which we have been writing. As I speak with you, I have evidence of more than 300 letters sent to Mr. President without no single reply up to date. I have the evidence of the letters as I speak with you here with me. Anywhere I travel, I carry it. That's my evidence.
Let me ask you a question. You work for a group of you, the Association of Young People approached by the president to vote for him. And you voted for him, and the promises haven't been fulfilled. Let's look at the promises that have not been fulfilled. Let's look at 3 promises. Just give me an idea of the promises made, which has not been fulfilled.
Okay. It's not as if we voted for him. We use our money to work for him, for his re-election. I spent more than 45 million naira, my own money. My business money, I sink it. Not as if we vote for him. Vote is different than somebody using his money to fund the election campaign. We fund the campaign.
Wow.
Yes, fund the campaign. And I am being left to either go up to commit suicide, which I have refused to do.
Wow.
And I have thousands of people that will be the truth of the matter is that all the youth that work for Mr. President in his campaign council, we were all published in his campaign list as members of the APC Presidential Campaign Council members. All of us that work, none of us has been compensated. We are all in the street suffering. Wow. Even the director of youth, Tony Woye, he has become frustrated to the point he has been patrolling in the whole federal secretariat to the point that he has moved out of the party to PDP. That is the director of youth in his campaign council. Only few. Even the people who will work for Dr. Mahmoud, who is the minister, Senator Momora is the state minister of health. All of them will work for these people, and they have abandoned us, and they have made us to become useless to the society. They want us to commit crime. They want us to commit suicide. They want us to die.
Let me develop an understanding about this. I mean, I've stood for elections where I am before. So in Nigeria, the party, the candidates allows you to go and use your money to mobilize support.
Yes. In a case where the party did not make provision for resources for the people to work, the people have no option to go, but to use their resources to work. Already, the funny enough is that I was a victim in the 2014-2015 election in Abia State, where I worked for Mr. President. I also sold all my things for this election, and they did not compensate me. I even sued the case to court. My senior advocate wrote to the party. They summoned the people. They said they are giving me my money. They did not give me anything. Now, they tried to kill the case. They now told me, okay, they will compensate me. Now, when they did not compensate me, election has drawn closer again. I was thinking, okay, now How will they compensate me? Before I know it, they included me into the system again because they need my structures. As the person controlling Nigerian youth, I am the one controlling the major structures of Nigerian youth. I've been looking at them. They are happily, they may introduce one person and say it's the National Youth Council president. The National Youth Council president does not control any single structure. I control the Nigerian youth structure, and I am the one doing the major work for the Nigerian youth. I am the one that is speaking what they need to hear. I am the one that presents what they need to understand. I speak nothing but the truth, and they don't like the truth. And because they don't like the truth, they see me as a threat.
Okay.
But that stopped me not to speak the truth.
Chief, let's go back to the organization. Your organization is an umbrella organization. I read that it's also got an organization called Nigerian Congress within the infrastructure. Tell us about the Nigerian Youth Congress.
Nigerian Youth Congress. You know, when you talk about Nigerian Youth Congress, you are talking about a Congress of youths. And there are many Congress of youth. Like the Nigerian Youth Congress, the main Nigerian Youth Congress, is a body that was also set up at that same National Youth Council.
Right, okay.
All these structures was set up under the Nigerian Youth, under the National Youth Council, that is the NYCN. And there is another one that is set up called the Nigerian Youth Parliament. There is another one called Nigerian Youth Political Agenda. There are different structures. All this is youth structures.
Okay.
They are all youth structures. But now, what we now said is that all these structures come together. We want to introduce a body that will be passed into law as an umbrella body that will be attached to the Ministry of Youth Development, that will be one of the major body that will be generating revenue for youth development so that they can have resources to develop the youth, because as Ministry of Youth Development, that is going to be controlling the plans of developing over 80 million Nigerian youth in the Federation, then such ministry is supposed to have an agency attached to it that will be generating revenue. We now said, okay, how do we introduce such agency? That is where the name Nigerian Youth Corporate Social Responsibility Fund was generated out. I said, this is the name. I actually initiated the name because I know in the Constitution that the CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility, is a mandatory something that companies, multinational, international, and national companies are supposed to be releasing annually some percent of income. Let's say 2 to 3% or 1% of their annual income strictly for the community development of the youth. Now we now said, okay. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes,
okay,
I can
we
hear
now
you.
said, okay, let's introduce the Nigerian Youth Corporate Social Responsibility Fund as an umbrella. And what are we seeking for? We are seeking for the government to constitute it as a body attached to the Ministry of Youth Development to generate revenue through the corporate social responsibility from all multinational, international, and national companies, even from the government organs that generate revenue as well as part of their IGR. So that through that means this body will be in charge to manage this generating of this revenue and also it out to the people for their development.
Please don't interrupt. Chief Ubani, can I ask you one important question? From what you are telling me, I'm getting the feeling that a lot of young people are frustrated. Let me ask you, which part of the country do you feature in most? And do you have these problems of herdsmen? Because maybe whilst you're out, someone from Kaduna was saying a lot of these young people end up in the bushes, and if they can't find work to do, it means they have to turn to crime, banditry, etc. I wonder what your comment will be on that subject area.
To be very frank with you, I am the Director General for the entire Nigerian youth in the Federation. When I talk in the Federation, I'm talking about the 774 local government. And I am future in all areas as long as Nigeria is concerned. And everything that is happening within the Nigeria as a whole, it affects me. I feel the pains of the people. I feel the pains of the youth, especially because the hardship that has been affecting the youth, the hardship, the poverty is alarming to the point that it is even more alarming than the COVID-19 itself. The hunger pandemic the youths are facing in the country is more dangerous than the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is where the whole problem, why you see people are saying that we don't care about any COVID-19. If we will die, let's die. In fact, no, you don't tell them to use face masks. You don't tell them anything. The government has even lost the faith, the trust of the masses. And the government will be saying that the masses are doing this, they are doing this, they are doing social media, hate speech, everything. It is because the government has failed the masses, the youth. Now, because they have failed the youth too have, just like a father that have failed the children will become, they don't want to listen to their father again because their father is a failure. That's why I'm telling the government.
Okay, Chief Ubani, let me go straight on to Barrister Banjo. I think he does now.
Okay, please.
Barrister, very welcome to you. Please introduce yourself and tell us about this organization and your involvement. Barrister Nosiru Olalekan Banjo, I believe.
Yeah.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Yes, ma, yes. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome to the program.
I've been listening to my DJ speech.
Okay.
I was trying to, there was a mix of connection here, network connection. Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The foundation of every organization, which I believe mostly is financial aspect of it. And without it, nothing can move on, nothing can move up, nothing can be done. But according to what the DG I just said, I just enumerated in his own speech now, it's only self-voluntarism. We act ourselves in order to put organizations together, in order to put members together, in order to let us.
We have network problems there. Whilst we're waiting for him to rejoin us, Chief Ubani,
Yes.
The situation in Lagos, let's return to situation in Lagos. Is he back? Barrister Banjo, are you back? Now, you are now in Lagos. Hello? Please go ahead. Are you back with us? Chief Ubani, you are now in Lagos.
Yes, I'm in Lagos.
On ground. Now, ideally, what would you like Lagos State government to do to assist? Ideally, what would you like Lagos State government to do?
Actually, what I want Lagos State government to do is the Lagos State government should see that Lagos State is the one leading state since the outbreak of the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. And up to this stage where we are now in the second wave, Lagos State is leading all states. Then Lagos State should be able to see that this is a state that is very paramount and has the larger population of masses from different parts of the countries. Then in a case that there is a pandemic, they should be able to reach out to the way in a manner that the people will understand this pandemic and try to abide by the rules and to see that they are on the safe side, because the people does not believe the government. What happened during the lockdown, during the palliative, where the food that was designed to be given to the poor masses were being hidden or stolen? Should I use the word stolen by some part of the local government leaders? The masses have to go down to the stockroom, break down to access food because the hunger was too much. Just like the hunger has started coming again, because now this is January. By February, I'm sure the hunger will be too much in the land because there is no work, no job, no food. Everything is going higher in the country, and there is no money. The federal government, state government should give at least the youth structures that has been working with them. The NYCSRF has cut across many other structures under them. They have been working with them. Let them give them the empowerment they need. Let them give them vehicles. At least they are supposed to have one COVID-19 standard vehicle with alarm that will be patrolling every local government in Lagos State to reach out to the communities, to imbibe and follow the rules and to stay safe. Put on face mask.
Chief Ubani, can I I'm going to come back to you, but when I come back, I want you to answer the following questions. I want you to tell me, do you know how much your organization needs to continue to work in Lagos State? What are the items you need? And how will you seek to improve your relationship with Lagos State government? Let me go to Insikak Akpan. I'm not sure which state he's from. Over to you, Mr. Akpan. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, hello. Please
Hello.
introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you are from.
My name is Comrade Abdusalam Hamza. I'm from Lagos.
Okay.
I want to chip in based on the situation on Lagos.
Okay.
If you see this second wave of COVID-19 pandemic,
yes.
Presently in Lagos, I'm a northern person, and if you observe in Lagos, we have a lot of northern people that are poor masses out there trying to make life better for themselves.
Okay.
And if you observe what is happening in Lagos, you see that every single blessed day, these poor masses of the northern people travel back to their own home. And if the government of Lagos did not take the NYCSRF and empower them, let's meet the grassroots, because that grassroots matters a lot. The people at the grassroots, the masses, government doesn't reach them. We are out there always seeing. Nobody is there to educate them. Even when the Nigerian youth are trying all they can to at least educate them, they still need support from government to educate those people. Like my own people from the north part of the country, I'm telling you, I see them every single day traveling back to their home, which means that if there is any COVID-19 patients they come in contact with, they are likely traveling it to spread it to another part of the country, which is totally.
Hold on. Let me stop you there. I'm really interested in the point you have made. You are saying that there are lots of. I want to focus on the northern people you say are there, and these northern people are they?
Yeah.
I mean, what is their situation? Is it that they cannot access it? Yeah. Tell me more about their own circumstances in Lagos.
This thing actually 2%. And on your
the circumstances of the northern people here in Lagos is this.
Yes.
We are the northern people here in Lagos. Some of us are educated, and everybody knows that some northern people are not that well educated. So they find it too difficult in terms of understanding.
Are you still with us? What we are being told is that the northern people who are in Lagos have particular problems, and I can just.
So many northern people demand, or maybe sometimes, like even the let me talk about the Okada riders here in Lagos.
Okay.
Everybody knows that most of the Okada riders are from the north part of the country, and presently they travel back to the north every day. Even the face masks that was assigned to them before, they were using face masks, they are no more using the face masks, and there is no task force from any angle there to impose that on them, at least by sensitizing their safes and putting on their face masks. It will limit, and government does not, everybody knows that the government does not have the manpower to do that job. That's why Nigerian youth are out there busy trying their best to make sure that everybody is at least understood what or has been educated about the pandemic. But it's like the government is not helping matter.
Let me focus on the group. Where do they live? Where do they live? I mean, whereabouts are they? Do they have language problem? Are they able to use hospital? Because you said they'll go back to their places. I want to hear more about that. Do they have homes in Lagos? Are they able to use the healthcare service, especially those you say are not educated? What happens to them? Are they cattle rearers? As you said, they are Okada riders. Tell me more about them, because it sounds to me as if they're in a particularly difficult situation.
These particular people I'm talking about, most of them does not have a house in Lagos. They live in Bachas. You understand? If you go this way, you can get almost 90% of them does not even have a house in Lagos. They live in Bachas.
Wow.
And to meet different peoples, they are on the bus stops. In fact, some of them even enter airport and pick some of their customers. So from all these angles that they traveled out every day, they move around the state, they can be able to come in contact with that. And to tell you the truth, there is nobody out there. It is only the Nigerian youth that we are trying our best now to make sure that we reach such people in all the language they will understand, to try to educate them. And you know, the sometimes the northern people find things difficult to understand. But with the support of the government, I think at least when the government puts a support on that part, support the Nigerian, we can be able to reach this, because they are not they are in a massive, as in there are plenty. Let me use this English. There are plenty out there that they could not understand what government is saying about this pandemic. So my point here is this.
Wow.
I really have concern about my own people, because they are northerners. I am northerners. I based in Lagos. Even though I'm living in a comfortable house, I cannot say, because me, I'm at home. I can strictly follow the rules and guidelines of the government. It lets me left other Nigerian youth out there to die.
Thank you very
So
much.
please,
I mean, what you've just said is actually alarming, because if these people are homeless, that's what I'm going to say. They are all homeless and they are living wherever they can find. And they don't understand the local language. They don't understand English, even if English is used. So they don't really know what is going on. And I'm so sitting here, I'm really concerned that even if they have this COVID, what do they do? Do they recognize that that is what they've got? And from what you're saying, they just take their bags and they travel. And on the way, I'm sure, as you said, there's the possibility they are going to spread all of this. Okay. I wonder if there is still, and thank you very much for your contribution. If there is still anyone who wants to contribute to the subject area, please raise up your hand, or
I would like to contribute.
Okay, is this Israel Wonder?
Good evening.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
This Barrister Banjo on the line.
Hello.
Okay, Barrister
Good
Banjo, go ahead. Go ahead.
On the issue of on the issue of on the issue of getting rid of some Nigerians, I think of the Northerners governors have read that program, and the person of National Rufai, I think I just carry out a decision in order to get rid of let me say of getting rid of literacy. I mean, illiteracy around the Northerners, particularly by introducing free education and free food for all the willing children already
Barrister, let me understand
Western education.
Let me understand you. You've just mentioned El Rufai.
Yeah.
What is El Rufai doing in Lagos?
Yep.
What is El Rufai
What
doing
I'm
in
saying,
Lagos?
Yeah, what I'm saying in essence is that in Kaduna, are you talking in Lagos in particular, Kaduna? I'm talking about Kaduna.
I just want to understand which area you are referring to.
All the those that are jobless that are not even in in particular about Kaduna, particularly about Northern, those people that are calling themselves Almajiris.
Okay.
They will find ready to get rid of their issue, go back to the education to acquire Western education.
Okay.
They are not supposed to be moving in another state. When they are announced that they should come down to Kaduna, that's the only is under control. That is ready to sponsor their Western education in order for them to be an achievers in tribe in this country. But so the Northerners lifted the over for their children. I don't know, maybe they expected it to come to Lagos to come and carry them back to Kaduna. Because we must say the truth. When we say the truth will be to be in a place to save us and to reach our goals at any fucking time. But immediately we start folding our fingers at the face of the wind where we are. So the advantages that my colleague is saying here, that they are we know it's only not Kaduna State that has this series of the problem. In Kano, we have in Kano and some other northern countries. If one government can simplify that, because I have known that from the CPC since we are in CPC before we march together to come but too much of it is even much on that. That we see some other governors apart from Kaduna State governor, which are giving that assurance that it's ready to be upon our next. That's one apart.
Barrister, so far, there's no state government doing anything. That is what you're saying. So far, is there a state government that is supporting the young people with the agenda?
That's why I say
Pity where he is not very good. Okay. I'm going to go to Israel Wonder, I think. I'm going to, because Barrister's network is not very good. Let's go to Mr. Wonder. Yes?
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity you gave me. And I want to stress.
Barrister, hold on now. Barrister, hold on. Don't interrupt, please. Hold on.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Please go ahead, Mr. Wonder.
Okay. Yeah. One thing I want us to derive from this our meeting is that for every litigation there must be a mitigation.
Okay.
And the mitigation, it is where we drive out a way of curbing all the issue we itemize. And I love the way the National Chairman of NYCSRF articulated the program of the youth and the needs of the youth. But in all this, I believe as a young body of this association, we should try and ensure that we pave our way. We tell the government what we need. And this is where I'm going to come in. That, yes, NRCF has been working so much. I said it before, in my own state, Ogun State, where I come from. I'm a member, and I've seen a lot of activities of the ESCOs. Now and then, they go to Abeokuta to meet the health leaders in Abeokuta back and forth. At times, they will go, they will not send anybody to respond to them. And they keep on putting their steps on the way. So I want to come to a conclusion, a solution that how do we get governments in supporting, first, sensitizing our people in this pandemic. Yes, there's hunger in the land. Everybody knows that. And the way the prices of items are skyrocketing. But if there is life, that is when we can say we are hungry. How do we save our people from getting contacted with this pandemic? And as I speak, if I'm correct, and I stand to be corrected, that just about 100,000 vaccine is expected to come to Nigeria. And from the experts in the health sector, I learned 2 vaccines is meant for one person. And by dosage, it means it will only access 50,000 out of about 200 millions approximately we have in Nigeria. So instead of spreading the COVID, how do we curb it? That is where I say the government of the state, I'm talking of my state, and across the board, should identify each youth body that is at the front line of sensitizing the masses. Yes, the masses, if they get in Lagos State as I speak now, I begin to hear that the oxygen is not available. If you go to Yaba now, the oxygen is going to be found. So instead of keep blaming ourselves, how the government come into the aid of supporting with materials of sensitization and making sure that everybody is safe. Because if you are not safe, that means the country is not safe. So I want to suggest that let there be, serious sensitization in this period. That's number one. Number two, as the sensitization is going on, how do we incur programs for these youth that despite the pandemic, they can involve in that in programs, so that as the pandemic is going on, yes, they are also getting themselves livelihood, so that we will not be talking on other things. Thirdly is that now that in this session now, that this is just the early of the year, a lot of programs that go each, I know every year the government comes out with program for the youth, we have this, we have that. And you know what? At the end of the day, when it gets to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, that is where the money disappears. And that is where I'm saying that if the Ministry of Youth and Sport in each state, the affairs, those commissioners should be able to work along with youth, bodies, the NYCF, the National Youth Congress, the NYC, the Youth Parliament, that we can have a cascaded program for every one of us. Because as I speak now, as a family or a young family man, I have my family to care for. And in as much I'm caring my family, others as well should not be left out. Because if I'm saying I'm a bit comfort, others who are not, who cannot find the next meal, they can take to violence just to make sure. Hello.
Can I stop you there for a moment? You see,
okay.
Honestly, listening to all of you today, my heart really is racing and extremely worried about the future. In fact, I have to say, every now and then, I wish I could speak Hausa and speak the language so that you can communicate effectively with me. Sometimes I wish I can speak the local dialect where you are, because what I am...
No problem.
Hold on. What I have in front of me, honestly, is on serious underdevelopment. Now I want to ask a question. What age group do you call youth in Nigeria? What is the age group? Where does it start? Where does it begin? What is the age group? Is it from 10? Is it from 12 to 40? Who is a young person in Nigeria? Who is a young person?
I think I can come in there to give the answer.
Please do.
Okay. You know, when we talk about young people, we are talking the people between the age of, let's say, from 15 downwards up to 20, 21. These are young people. Now, when we talk about youth, we are talking about between the ages of between 18 up to 30 years, 35. They are still youth. But, you know, our country has gotten to a stage whereby even the one that is 40 are still youth. The reason is because they are jobless like other people out there. How can you classify someone, a person of 40 years, who does not have money to even get married, to even feed himself, that is living under his father's roof?
Chief, can I stop you there? Because coming to the end of the program, I want to get certain matters dealt with. Right now, I'm not hearing from any one of you that there is 1 penny going to your organizations to be able to do what you're doing. I'm not hearing that. having served in British politics, elected and in position to do things where we will give funds, we will invite applications. We will invite applications for funding to be able to fund, to give money to groups, to go and do things. I'm not hearing that from all of you. I'm not hearing it. And I've heard of somebody trying to assist those with language difficulties, seriously vulnerable, given the climate you are in at the moment, like the whole world, epidemic. I cannot hear from any of you that there is one state government that is parting with a penny. I'm so disgusted that you told me that you went to a leading politician, let me use that word, and I'm not going to name him, to talk to him about youths and their needs. And you seem to be saying nothing happened at the end of it. No funds. I cannot understand how we can have organizations in Nigeria and they say they are used this and they are used that, and I've come across many of them. They don't appear to be funded by anyone. How long should that continue? How long? In the country where I am, the organizations like yours are supposed to be funded to do the work at the grassroots level. Obviously, you have to be monitored. I even come across organizations, they haven't got any bank accounts. I can't tell you how many people I come across who say the organizations, and when it comes to where is this money going to, they are given personal accounts, the accounts of the chairman, the account of the secretary, the account of so. I am really deeply concerned by what I'm hearing from all of you. But let me go to Olashe Emmanuel. Please keep your contribution short because I'm about to round up. Over to you, Mr.
Can I say
Olashe.
something briefly after Emmanuel, man, if I can have a few seconds?
Good evening once again, Ireluma.
Yes, I will. I will give you. Yes, I will.
Go
ahead.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. You see, the way forward is just for the youth to come together and have a sincerity of purpose. Let us form a synergy and see the way we can fight for a structural change in the country. Until we change the structure, until we change the way things are being managed, we cannot achieve anything. See, we have politicians who are stronger than the institution. That is what we have in Nigeria. Politicians, people at the ends of affairs, are stronger than our institution. And when you have such in place, there cannot be room for development. They are stronger than the institution, they're stronger than every agency. So all the money that's supposed to be put in place for youth development, for education, for women and youth, all these things are being carted away by some certain set of people. And even when you say they are being arrested, they are being prosecuted, even to the Supreme Court level, they buy all these judges. They buy them. I'm telling you what I know from experience. I used to be part of the Zaraki dynasty before, and I know the way they do things. I know the way they do things. That is one. Then two, man, on the issue of youth organization not having an account, most of these youth organizations are just put together, forming NGOs so that they can look for ways to also survive. It's only few of us that just decide that, okay, whatever we can do to survive, we'll do. Hard work, go to the farm and do a lot of things. And I'm talking to you now. I am out of job too. Courtesy my state governor. But that's by the way. That's by the way. It will only help to just be able to build one own capacity. But what am I talking about here? We need to change the face of things. We monetize everything. And once all these politicians buy their mandates, I can tell you, man, they are only going there to do nothing. are going
if I
there
can,
to do nothing. And it
if I can
calls all
stop you,
across all the states of the federation.
If I can stop you there, I am concerned
Okay, man,
even
no
your
problem,
state
man.
governments don't work. Forget the federal. You go state government.
I'm telling you, man.
You vote for
I'm
them.
telling you, man.
And you have local councillors.
That is why I said, man, we need structural adjustment. Structural adjustment. That is the point. Sorry, ma'am. We need structural adjustment. That is the point. We need to change the way we do things. Nothing will work if we continue this way. And I can tell you, the youth are very angry. The youth are very angry. That is why there's high rate of insecurity, high rate of criminality. I can tell you, man, people take to kidnapping to survive. People take to Yahoo to survive. A lot of people will lie that they are going to work in the morning. No, they are going to a bet house to play Nigeria bet or to play Naira bet.
Which state are you from? Which is this Ogun State?
I'm from Kwara State.
You are from Kwara State.
I'm from Kwara State.
Let me stop you there.
I am from Kwara State.
Do you have this problem of
I'm from Okero local government in Kwara State.
Thank you. Do you have this problem of herdsmen in the bushes?
In Ekiti local government 2 weeks ago, ma'am, in Ekiti local government 2 weeks ago, herdsmen still kidnap people there. 2 weeks ago, they still kidnap people there in Kwara State. In Kwara State. A roundtable meeting was held yesterday among you stakeholders on how to address this issue. Because on that very matter, the state government, the assembly member representing that local government, nobody gave any statement on that. Nobody said anything. So the youth had to call themselves to come together. Though unfortunately I was unable to attend the meeting because I'm talking to you presently. I'm somewhere in Lagos. I had to come and see my uncle to raise funds for a business I'm supposed to go for. So I couldn't attend that meeting. But the fact is, 2 weeks ago in Ekiti local government, not far from Eruku, herdsmen still kidnap people. 2 weeks ago in Kwara State, man.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you, when these herdsmen,
okay, ma'am, with you, ma'am.
They used to take their cattle around. What has changed now? Why are they now killing people?
The fact, ma'am, is this. Most of them are not the owner of these cattle. Most of them are not the owner of these cattle. So there are some that does not have any cattle at all. They disguise to be among those that are rearing cattle in order to carry out their evil deed. That is what they do, man.
Wow. Thank you. Let's go straight to, was it Chief who wanted to say something?
No, it's me, Patrick.
Yes, okay, Patrick. Go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm joining from the UK, as I say, and it's a privilege to really be listening to what is going on and what we're hearing now.
Okay.
And I just thank God we are listening to even youth from the north and listening to the particular chief who said he even went as far as selling his house.
Yes.
To fund a politician or to fund the current head of state, and they were dumped. So that tells you that we have a complete systemic failure in Nigeria, right from even the community level up to the federal government level. And the system in Nigeria, looking at whatever we are seeing today, is not designed for the benefit of anybody, including the youth, apart from the politicians and those who have access to public funds. So it's for you and for all of us as youth to try and synergize. We need to start sensitizing ourselves, sensitizing our families and our people back home and everywhere to make sure that there is a drastic change to the system in Nigeria. No matter if anybody should raise funds for you today, give you money to go and eat, give you money to go and buy rice and beans or share beans for you, it's wasting your time. You need to be empowered. You need to have that courage to stand and say, this is your life. Then when it comes to the time of politics, you should know your life and the life of your children, your 450 generation to come are on the line. And you have to vote that way. And that is what we do. Here in the United Kingdom, any politician that rises to say, well, I am a politician, you wait for them on the election day and you show them what you want to show them with your vote. our vote is our power. Forget about community, religion affiliation or tribalistic affiliation. We have to rise up at this time, now, and start preparing. I think that is what I will encourage you to try and do. Begging for stipends to carry on today, tomorrow, they don't last. Anybody funding you or give you anything, we just do it, or somebody will just do it. It's temporary. They give that, if you give the youth the rod, they will be able to fish and fend for themselves. And I trust Nigeria youth 24/7, or every Nigerian, wherever we find ourselves, we survive. So that is my encouragement to you today. And I really thank you for coming out openly and sharing your hearts out. And we really feel for you. And we are standing by you in prayer. Thank you very much, man. And
Pleasure.
everyone in the house.
Pleasure. Chief Ubani, last few words.
Yes, my last few words is I want to first of all appreciate you, madam, for this wonderful program that was being organized by you on this special day, because today is actually the day we are launching our Nigerian Youth Headquarters NYCSRF Save Life website, which is www.nycsrfsavelife.ng. Today we officially launch it, and based on the last person that just made his own input, if you see, the truth of the matter is that today in Nigeria, we see some of these politicians who will be helping some group of youth with some stipends, and they are now projecting the different posters saying we should go and register. They are registering for APC or maybe to revalidate their membership. Today also we have reached a result nationwide and globally that we, the entire Nigerian youth and students nationwide, including mothers and fathers worldwide, home and diaspora, we are not registering any political party registered member, or be it APC or PDP or any party. We are now open our portal on the website. Let everybody go and register himself and be inside the portal, because a communication room is there that will be open soon, that we will be communicating. We don't want to register any membership of any political party of any kind, because when we start dancing to that tone, it is that we are giving them another room again to manipulate us again ahead of 2023. Mr. President promised us that the youth, all the leaders, including the former head of state, Olusegun Obasanjo, say we should smuggle power from the old politician. Everybody is saying it. The youth should take over power. The president said we should wait till 2023. All newspaper has their evidences. Now, we don't want to engage in any political party registration, and anybody, any youth or any man, useful human being out there who is inviting people to go and register in a political party for any kind of membership or whatsoever is not meaning well for us. It's only just evil, selfishly trying to lobby people to come and register so that at the end of the day, the business will continue. We don't want. We are not registering. Let nobody registered. We are not registering. We are going to stand as a organ or umbrella under the same NYCSRF Save Life. What we're interested here, we will need to save the life of our people. Let the government support us to carry out our grassroots sensitization on code red H2H and D2D, which is house to house and door to door, on sensitizing the grassroots on the need to be safe in COVID-19 rules and regulation. That is what we're interested in now. When we draw closer to the election time, Nigerians will join synergy together with the poor masses, will put minds together to produce a new era government of youth that will take over the leadership of this country for a new era. If we don't have a new era, a new brand, young people to come on board, which is the coalition of young candidates who contested for 2019
and lose all the election because the election is either being won by ringing or by buying vote or by just somebody declaring winner somewhere, anywhere, which is what happens like in my state, in Abia State. There have never been an election there. All we know is that at the end of the day, they will rig the election and they will declare the winner among themselves. So we want to put an end to this mess in the country. Look at what happened during the palliative, during the NSAS protests. You see a lot of damages is on ground. People have been killed. People is dying. So we shouldn't be talking about 2023 election. We should be talking about how to even survive to the 2023. When we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. We need to join synergy together. This is why I'm calling my people, the people in diaspora, because you people in diaspora are the people that have the master plan, the master key, the strength, the ability to give us the strength to enable us achieve the goal. Now, the people in diaspora are the people we are looking up to. We are calling upon them to put heads together and work with us. We are more convenient, we are more comfortable working with them to have a brighter future for our country, because the state government, the federal government has proven failure and they have betrayed all forms of trust. Now we are looking at them. There is a lot of money being allocated for COVID-19. We have been working since February last year to date. No one kobo has not been given. We have held meeting with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control in Abuja. We have held meeting with the National Primary Health Care. We have held meeting with the Ministry of Health. We have even gone to the length of Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. This one will say we should meet this. This one will say we should meet this. This one will say we should meet this. Up to now, they say we should meet to state. Now we are in state. State, have we had for anything? Nothing. You see, the whole thing is not working. The system is corrupt. The system is like your idea. You just have to eat and feed your pocket and your family. It's not. They are not interested about what gets to the masses to do the work. And that's why we are saying that the reason National Primary Health Care and State Primary Healthcare Development Agency Board, who are the major key stakeholders who are supposed to be in the field doing the work to sensitize the grassroots, are not doing anything, is because they don't have fund. They don't have fund. And that's why we want to start reaching out to companies. We want to start reaching out to companies. Let the companies use part of their corporate responsibility for the 2021 to support what we are doing. And I don't think it is wrong if the companies, multinational companies who are reaping from the country, I don't think it is wrong if they support us. Even the
permit me to come in. Look,
yes,
from first-hand experience, the challenge for many people funding organizations in Nigeria is, first of all, the failure of different governments at a different level acknowledging the existence of these organizations. Years ago, things were different. I don't believe, I am unclear as to all the issues you have raised. I'm going to invite Mr. Bello, please get ready to do appraisal of what you've heard so far. But let me make this quite clear to you. I am totally appalled to hear a lot of what I've heard today. Simply put, there is no support for non-governmental organizations in Nigeria to do what you are doing. And many parts of the world, it's the non-governmental organizations that are at the grassroots level. And it is considered good practice to work with the grassroots. But let me stop there. At some point before the end of the program, I'll come back again. Mr. Bello, over to you. Welcome.
Yes, I have unmute. Thank you very much, Irelu. As everybody were contributing, I have to admit to you, I was going straight into my digital archives, extracting some information out so that I can beam that on screen for people to see. But I'm really gobsmacked that a handful of the youths, I'm going to do the appraisal right now, But the problems with the Nigerian youth, that the Nigerian youths are not putting pen to paper. Now, you said that there is that failure by the government at both the federal and the state level to discharge their social responsibilities to their citizens. So also, as we discovered that, well, the entire system in Nigeria and most Black African nations are grossly corrupt. Also, the issue by the citizens. I termed that as failure by citizens to demand accountability by the office holder. With all due respect, Erelu Ayorinde, you were two-time mayor of Wandsworth, and we were sharing experiences together during one of your campaigns, which I'm not going to go into those details. But at the end of the day, you were elected again, but the person that actually threw onto you had a problem, social problem. But you never looked at the face of this woman based on the fact that she threw a hot boiling water on you. You helped. So that was a classic case of how politics is done in a civilized environment. You see, I want to go through, very quickly, I want to go through some songs with some people. And what I want to go through with you at this point, I want to look into certain ages. First, I'm going to go through Dr. Olusola Saraki, who was one time a senator and the godfather of the Kwara State politics, because we've got somebody who represented Kwara State, to which I'm still going to go back to that. Now, Dr. Olusola Saraki, if he is alive today, he'll be 88 years. He became a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1979, aged 46. At that period, that moment in time, his first son, Bukola Saraki, was just 17 years old, just left King's College, Lagos, to further advanced level. 17 years old. And to make matter worse, the governor of Kwara State. And when Bukola Saraki became the governor of Kwara State, I've actually taken and I've gone into my archives, and I'm going to post Bukola Saraki's governor. That's the man in front of my screen, and for everybody to see around the world. That was Bukola Saraki's commissioner for education in Kwara State. Now, Bukola Saraki was governor of Kwara State from 2003 to 2011. If my dates are correct, I think they are. So he was, yes, from 2003 to 2011. So Bukola Saraki ruled Kwara State for 2 terms of 8 years. But I was gobsmacked that this man that you are looking at, his picture, that was Bukola Saraki's commissioner for education in Kwara State at the time, came all the way from Kwara State in Ilorin to deliver a lecture right inside the banquet hall of the Nigerian High Commission. And we had somebody like this equally talking, and I think here you can see the same man, his commissioner for education, presenting a case, or you can obviously see Mike Abiola there at a seminar, presenting a case to the world and international community that he would rather educate Kwara State children under the tree. That was a bit of a problem. Now, let us go into this. Look at this. This was the table of the Nigerian government budgetary allocation to education. 1995, you can obviously see, the federal government of Nigeria had a budget of 7.2%. 96, 12.32%. 97, 17.59%. 98, 10.27%. 99, look at that. 1999, when Obasanjo came to power, 11.12%. The year 2000, look at that. It went down to 8.36%. And then in 2001, from 8.36%, your budgetary allocation on education by the Nigerian government under Olusegun Obasanjo was 7%. Now, look at the table below, the table B. That was the spending on education in terms of gross.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. We can't see anything on the screen. I'm not sure if others can see that.
Well, I think I can see it, and I can see it displayed everywhere. Maybe others can see
it. Sorry, he's showing his screen live to thousands of people watching us. It's not meant for those of you in the studio. Over to you, Mr. Bello.
Yes, so table B, this is a comparison between some other African countries compared to Nigeria. Angola, you can see 4.9%, Cote d'Ivoire, 5%, Ghana, 4.4%, Kenya, look, 6.5%, Malawi, 5.4%, Mozambique, 4.1%, look at Nigeria, 0.76%, South Africa, 8%, 7.9%, Tanzania, 3.4%, Uganda, 2.6% on education, higher than Nigeria. Now, a lot of the youths, where are they? They're now complaining. They're now saying, oh, the Nigerian government, they've handicapped us. I was surprised that Chief Vincent Ubani came out and then said he spent 45 million naira of his own fortune in fighting election for Muhammadu Buhari. But now, the problem here, Erelu, is that we've got a situation in 2019 that the diaspora knew very well. Myself at the forefront of that campaign to get rid of Muhammadu Buhari. I don't know if he's still alive or he's dead, but they should get rid of him because this man does not mean well for them. Now, based on that, let me go a little bit deeper. Somebody was talking about poverty. Now, here is the poverty rate, 2018. I'm not making this up. This was published by the Office and Statistics in Nigeria. Northwest Zone, Southwest Zone, Northeast Zone, East Zone. The poverty rate. Now, I have a problem. The problem I have is that when you consider the interesting research that's been done by the Economist Intelligence Unit that stated that Nigeria is amongst the world's 10 least livable cities in the world. Lagos came just next to Damascus as number. You've got problems. I think right now, 1960 right up to 2020, that we've gone through 60 years of independence, pain, hardship. It is very, very unfortunate. got that situation whereby we're still not getting it right. The youths are not getting it. And
Are you still there?
Yes.
I hope you have muted yourself. Let
me see.
Over to you again. Yes, over to you.
Yes, I said right now, the youths, they failed in the discharge of their own social responsibility in 2019 to vote out the bad elements in government. Rather, what we did everything. We went to social media. We did everything possible, but they insisted they would rather vote for Mr. Integrity. So on this note, Erelu, I'll hand over back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed, especially those of you who are out there watching in the diaspora. It's been quite a shocking outcome to hear and feel the pains of individuals struggling to make a difference in their life. I have concluded over many years that the government of Nigeria ruled with poverty. They used poverty to govern. And where poverty is used to govern, people are at the mercy of the government. I cannot understand how and why Nigerian Social Responsibility Fund will be of no use to especially non-governmental organizations. I'm sitting here, it's not that I'm not aware and I haven't heard of it before. How somebody could have spent 45 million naira supporting a politician. And it's not the first time I'll hear those people saying we work for this politician and this politician did not, at the end of the day, deliver his promise or promises. I think I have this to say. I don't believe young people in Nigeria really understand what democracy is all about. And I don't believe a lot of people understand what democracy is all about in Nigeria. Because I cannot understand why young people will, when they have the power to withhold their support and ensure that they get promises clearly defined, clearly agreed, they rush into working for those who have abused them. From this episode, I can conclude I've never come across supporters of political parties or parties so badly abused by those who they promised to work with, those they promised to represent, and the promises haven't been delivered. So I think you've left me with one final thought. How can I be of assistance to this group? I looked at the whole setup and I am inclined to come to a conclusion that I want to pick just one state out of the whole number that presented themselves today. I want to carry out full investigation into some of the things I've heard and to see whether in partnership or alongside Chief Obani, we can also find out from British Council, because British Council is on ground. I've not heard anything about British Council. British Council is funded to also provide support to organizations like you. Not one word about British Council, not from any of you. My big question, don't you know British Council exists? What is your relationship with British Council? I know from first-hand experience that there's USAID, there's DFID on ground in Nigeria. These are just two of many supposedly there to build the capacities of organizations like yourself to be able to work alongside and in partnership with the governments of your country. And this is not happening. So let me bring this program almost to a conclusion by, first of all, thanking Chief Obani, who was the first person I came across, and I just stumbled on this organization accidentally, excited that for once here is an umbrella organization with a sheer number of people flowing through. I wanted to find a way in order to be able to facilitate something meaningful for them. Chief Obani, thank you for taking the risk to say yes, because after all, you weren't sure what was going to happen. And thank you for the hard work. I've never come across someone within a few days who worked so hard to facilitate those who have come onto this program. I'm disappointed. Two of your women, they couldn't speak. In and out, she's been going, Lucifer Dumela, in and out, in and out. We called her a few times. Nothing to say. Why bring her onto the program? I have problems with women who cannot come forward and speak, especially having put them on flyer to speak on behalf of a very important organization like this. I've called her many times and I've seen her on the screen and I'm wondering why is she here? I want to thank all the gentlemen who have advocated for the betterment, not just of themselves, but of the future. I want to offer tremendous apology, lots of apologies to you for what you are going through. Some would blame, and I think a lot of people may blame British government. They'll say once upon a time, it was British government that put in place Nigeria. We hear this all the time. But certainly, the time has come for young people to understand that, as someone else said, the infrastructure needs to change. Before you begin to support any politician, I regret to say, be very sure that you know what you're letting yourself into. I want to thank you on behalf of all those you've been helping run around and without a penny, using your money, using your energy, and having sleepless nights, lots of stress, struggling with your family. I want to invite blessings and abundance into your life. That's prayer, is not material. But let me assure you that after this program, and most certainly, as I said, we'll pick just one state to have a thorough investigation, because until one has detailed investigations to why you have been experiencing what you've explained of this program, one can't venture to another state. So on that note, I want to thank you very much, starting from Chief Ubani for joining me today. Barrister Banjo, thank you very much. Dr. Shola Tanimowo, thank you very much. Mama, I think Makama, thank you. Olaoshebi Koimano, thank you. And of course, the gentleman from United Kingdom, thank you for being out there. It's useful to listen to your feedback, because after all, you know what it's like to have what we call democracy at work. I've seen one person or two people raising their hands. I can allow you just 2 minutes each, and I must bring the program to an end. Let me see the two I have got here. Israel, Wanda, and Vincent Ubani. Right, let me go for Israel first, and then Chief Ubani. Over to you both. A minute each. Israel, over to you.
Yeah, I'm back. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this concern from the people from diaspora for us in Nigeria. I really thank the in-depth of Mr. Frank Bello for giving us that full analysis, indeed. But in a nutshell, so I've not seen one-on-one, but I'm a member of this NYCSRF, and I know the impact it has gone through the nation, and particularly in my own state, that I represent in Ogun State, that the work of the body has been cascading to the local level. So I want to appreciate Madam Merelu for this time out to hear the heartbeat of the young one. And like Mr. Obani said, that the diaspora, those in diaspora, has a lot of impact to make at home. And we'll be so grateful and appreciating if they can come in all with sincerity of heart to elevate us and model us as you together. Like Mr. Emmanuel said from Kwara, that we need structural changes. If we can change the structure, then we are good to go in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Over to you now, Chief Ubani.
Okay, thank you. I want to thank every one of us that participated and that partake in this program. And I want to pray that Almighty God that we serve, that our Creator will continue to be with us, guide us, protect us, and keep us alive to overcome to overcome this COVID-19 and this trial area that we face on earth. So shall it be in Jesus' name. Ma, I want to appreciate you so much, and I also want to appeal on behalf of all the entire youth of Nigeria that if you can help us to keep this type of program going continuously, maybe once in a month or twice in 6 months, this kind of program would be program that can really help us to build back faith and to have faith that there is hope for for our youth. We need such program to be a continuous program. If we can be having such program like this, we will be so delighted and we'll be so grateful. So I want to thank you. I believe you know the best, and I know that God will continue to strengthen you and perish your pocket. All the money you spend in having this program, you will recover them in 100-fold. May God bless you, man, and God bless every one of us. This is all I have to say. Thank you all.
Chief, thank you very much indeed. This is not the end of this program, I'm afraid. As I said, I want to choose one state, and with you, thorough investigation will take place, and I'm hoping in not too distant future, I want to return back to this program because there are viewers out there. Thank you very much, Liberty Communications. There are viewers all over the world, and there are viewers in the unbelievable corners and corridors of power of Nigeria watching us right now. Let me say, Chief Ubani, you're very, very right. There is a need to have this kind of dialogue between those of you who are out in Nigeria, those of us who are considered to be in the diaspora, and of course, those you don't often see come out in Nigeria, but they're there. Those who you vote for, those who your taxation is used to fund their livelihood, otherwise known as politicians, you pay them fantastic sum, a heck of a lot of money you pay them. So there are three pockets at this point in time. Of course, you've got those of us who are in the diaspora, yourselves, and out there, your politicians voted for your employees. You are the employers. You are paying their salary, but they are not doing the work. Let's see if the relationship can be improved. On that note, To those of us who are out here in the diaspora, you can see there's a lot more we need to learn in order for us to facilitate improvement in the quality of lives of those who are our people out there in Nigeria. Dear politicians of Nigeria, and I'm sure some of you are watching me, it's over to you. This needs to improve. We need to find a way forward. I know I've had programs before where politicians complain about young people impregnating their wives and not being able to pay the bills and bothering them and this and that. But one hand cannot clap. Let us work together for and in the best interest of those of us who are living and those who are to come in the future. On that note, I want to say to everyone, those of you in the studio, thank you very much for joining me. Liberty Communications, thank you very much out there. Always a pleasure to have you around, appraising and reflecting in order for us to find a way forward. So, brothers and sisters, and Nigeria of the future, I want to say thank you for joining me today. I am Erelu Tuasha, and I want to say to all of you, good luck in all your ventures. See you again in not too distant a future. So, good night.